So, I'm going to be doing a review of MechaGodzilla 50th Anniversary Special. If you guys remember, a few weeks ago, I talked about, I gave a review on the Godzilla 70th Anniversary Special, which was a massive compilation of the best Godzilla writers, and basically writers out there, and also Dan DiDio Dan Dido was there, or DiDio, however the fuck you say that guy's last name. And I enjoyed it. And it was kind of interesting that, like, only a few weeks later they said, like, hey, also MechaGodzilla's getting his 50th anniversary. I kind of hope IDW does more of these anniversary issues, because, like, it's also supposed to be King Ghidorah's 50th anniversary as well. I wish they did more with the other. Hopefully, like, this will generate them to do, like, maybe a Mothra. I think Mothra has her anniversary next year, but I know Ghidorah is supposed to have his anniversary this year, I believe. It's supposed to be this year. So maybe we could get a Ghidorah 50th anniversary one-shot as a Ghidorah fan. Anyway, so unlike the Godzilla 70th anniversary, this, which that was, like I said, an anthology, this is a one-and-done big one-shot story. It's oversized, but it basically is telling one consecutive story from one writer, one artist. So it's written by Rich Dovek. Hope I'm saying that name right. I apologize. And artwork by Andrew Griffith. I wonder if he has any reference to or relativity to Griffith from Berserk. Colors by Priscilla Tarmontano. God, I'm gonna ruin these names. Yep. So this comic, like I said, is like one big story that is overarching and is basically, what I like about it is that it ties together the entire MechaGodzilla mythos. Every era of MechaGodzilla is used and told in one big story. Let me explain. So the story actually begins with a young boy named Sato being saved by after a Godzilla attack, and he grows up to be a super genius who builds weapons to battle Godzilla. What are those weapons, you may ask? Well, glad you asked. The big thing is that he basically builds the Super X. Yeah, literally, the Super X1 is built by him. I was like, hey, this is what I like about this new era of IDW. They're now utilizing, like, it was in Godzilla, Here There Be Dragons, seeing Udaka being used, after so long of just being on the sidelines, I was like, hey, Udaka's here. And then to see the Super X, the original, and I'm not talking like the other versions of the Super X, I'm talking like the Super X you know from Godzilla 1984. And they even have like the cadmium missiles and everything. I really loved it. It was just cool to see the Super X1 again. And then Sato then creates MechaGodzilla. Or did he? Because our main protagonist, Benjamin Sachs, is an investigative reporter who is trying to figure out, like, there's something weird going on with Sato and his company and the whole thing with MechaGodzilla. So he's more or less like meeting with old acquaintances of Sato and getting all this information until he runs into one of Sato's former close friend, who basically reveals, nah, he didn't build MechaGodzilla. The Simians did. Yeah, we actually get the Simians in this comic, which is cool. Like, again, we're going into more of more of what makes MechaGodzilla so great. So it was cool to see the aliens from Hunter and Nebula in here. The aliens from the Black Hole Galaxy. That's what I meant, sorry. But we also know them as the Simians, which we haven't seen in these comics since the Godzilla, the first iteration of IDW, where they were also featured in Miki Sagusa's as well in the Titanosaurus Godzilla Legends one-shot, and then they couldn't use them again. But it's cool to use them. And also, like, we've been using a lot of the aliens from Planet X. It's kind of nice to see another alien race. Here's hoping for the Hunter M Nebula aliens next. Anyway, so the comic then goes on to basically talk about Benjamin discovering that, you know, basically all the MechaGodzillas you've seen, like Heisei MechaGodzilla, who appears as, you know, as he did in Godzilla vs. MechaGodzilla, the first one, where it's like he's got a synthetic skin and Godzilla battles him, breaks it off, and then he keeps getting upgraded. MechaGodzilla in this continuity keeps getting upgraded over and over again until he gets upgraded into Godzilla Kiryu with the addition of a, like, weird hate stone that makes it powerful. Instead of, like, the Sub-Zero cannon, it's like this weird hate stone it has. The comic does a great job because it also says, like, the Super X becomes Garuda and then makes Super MechaGodzilla. I really love that. The problem is that the comic really fumbles the ending. That's my one problem with this comic, is that it really, and I do stress really, fumbles the ending of the story. It basically ends with Ben Sachs, with Benjamin convincing everyone, hey, he saw, you know, Sato sucks and Godzilla's actually our real protector from aliens, and everyone instantly believes him. Furthering that, the aliens are just like, fuck you, and for the weird, here's the one thing that bothers me: original Showa MechaGodzilla, who hasn't gotten any love in these comics. It's always Kiryu or Heisei, and like, the weird thing is, after Godzilla defeats Kiryu, out of nowhere, Showa MechaGodzilla pops out thanks to the Simians, and I'm sitting here like, where did he come from? I guess from the paneling? The paneling doesn't explain, like, does he come out of, like, a hole? Does he come out of Kiryu? I don't know. It's weird. But yeah, everyone instantly turns... it's almost like the writer... Again, it's like the writer didn't have enough spaces to end his story and just had to have this really haphazard ending. It's what really kills the comic, but it really does feel like this guy loves Godzilla and especially understands and loves MechaGodzilla lore. All in all, it's a decent book. I think the ending, though, is what kills it. I don't know if it was enough pages or he just didn't know how to end it, but if you do love MechaGodzilla, I say give it a shot. But at the same time, I don't know if I'd spend $7 on this. I spent $7 on it because I was going to collect it. But yeah, I don't know if you guys are worth the store. If you guys want to have that, but because the ending really just takes away from everything else, because it's just like a mad dash to the end. But I'll leave that up to you. So you guys tell me in the comments below if you've read MechaGodzilla 50th Anniversary Special. Let me know in the comments below what you guys thought of it. Other than that, hope you all enjoyed this. I'm Mr. Multiverse. I'll see you next time in the Multiverse.